Hi everybody, I'm Silvia. Today I'm gonna tell you the story about how I almost debuted as a K-pop idol. So this whole thing started after my dance team had disbanded and I was sort of in the air, I didn't know what I was doing, and my friend introduced me to this director guy, and he said he knew an agency that was putting together a new girl group who was supposed to debut in August of 2017. So we told him we were dancers, and I told him I make music and I'm a singer and all that stuff. And he said he was gonna introduce us to the company people. So said and done, we met some people who were pretty high up within the company, but not the CEO. And we met again at a coffee shop, we talked, he asked about us again. And then I got called into a meeting with the vocal coach. I sang for him and we did a bit of vocal exercises, and at this point my friend wasn't there anymore and I hadn't talked to her in a while and I didn't know what was going on. She said that she had been dropped from the group, so at this point it was only me and I was terrified. So from what I had heard, I was the only foreigner currently in the lineup. So I was a little bit apprehensive because I was supposed to do this with my friend, and I had previously said that if she gets dropped, I'm not gonna do it. But when I was in this situation, I was like, okay, let's just give it a go. Let's do it, because why not? So I had that meeting. I did an audition with the guy I met at the coffee shop. I sang for him and some other staff people, and I danced, and I went home and waited. And then I got called into another meeting, this time with the CEO, which was even more terrifying. I was so scared. I had never met an official K-pop company CEO before. I didn't know what to wear, what to do. I was terrified, I was freaking out, but he was really nice. And his office was gorgeous. So we went down to the dance studio and I did an audition for him. Again, I sang and I danced and I did really bad. But the CEO seemed to like me anyway. He said I was a 착한 아이, and he said that I seemed to have a good personality and he could see that I had potential. Then I called into another meeting a few days later and we talked about company rules and what I would do if I was supposed to debut in this group. For one, we had a dating ban. I couldn't date at all. They asked me if I had a boyfriend and they told me not to lie to them, and I wasn't allowed to date or meet guys, and they made it very clear to me that I would spend most of my time practicing and I would never have time to meet my friends or my family, basically. So that's when I started to become a little bit apprehensive again, because I wanted to be in a dance group more than I wanted to be in an idol group, because I don't like the feeling of being controlled. Just the thought of not being able to meet my friends because people might misunderstand. Maybe I go out with a guy friend and people think it's my boyfriend, and all that stuff just started to freak me out. And it became too much very fast. But I still stuck with it and I said okay, and we were talking about the contract stuff and the visa stuff because obviously I was a foreigner, I'm a foreigner, whatever. Everything was looking good. I got to meet the other members because at this point they had chosen the final lineup and I was the last member, I believe. There was this other Chinese girl, but she was in China at that time, so I didn't get to meet her. But I got to meet the other girls and they were really kind. They were around my age. I was the second to oldest. I'm a 94 liner and there was another 94 liner, and then there was a 93 liner, and the rest of the members were younger. In total, we were 6 members. So I got to see the dorm where we would be living, and it was a pretty nice dorm. It was pretty small to share with 6 people, but that's very normal in Korea and in idol groups. I got to speak to the CEO again and we had another meeting. We were talking about the visa because obviously a visa is very hard to make and it's complicated, it's a lot of steps and it's expensive and all that stuff. And my visa was running out and I had to go back to Sweden. So the CEO was like, okay, we'll keep in touch, go back to Sweden, talk to your parents. I mean, my parents have always been supportive. They've supported me in everything, but being an idol is very uncertain. It's a very uncertain path of life. So it wasn't what they like really wanted me to do, so I was pretty on the fence there, because obviously I don't want to disappoint my parents, but I do want to follow my dream. However, I mostly wanted to be in a performance team at that time. I didn't really want to be an idol at that time, and I think the CEO noticed that, so he was like, talk to your parents, we'll keep in touch when you're in Sweden and all that stuff. So I went to Sweden, or I came back to Sweden, where I currently am, and I did talk to my parents, and we went back and forth and talked about what was best for me and all that stuff, and I finally decided that yes, I want to be in this K-pop group. I have decided I want to be an idol. I told the CEO that. I sent him a message, and he was like, oh, okay, we're gonna talk within the company and see what we come up with, because we have to fix the visa and all that stuff. And he told me, I will get back to you in 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, he didn't get back to me, so I texted him again, and he said, we're still not done with the meetings, we've been very busy and all the stuff. And I was like, okay, I understand, just get back to me when you made a decision. He texted me again after about a month, and he said they still weren't done, and that they felt little bit apprehensive because I had been a little bit unsure of what I wanted. And I told them that, well, I'm 100% now, so if you want me, I'm in. And after that, they never contacted me again. So I guess they cut me out of the group, or maybe the group just disbanded completely. I would like to add that this wasn't like a big famous company. It was a pretty small company that I had never heard of before. I think it was pretty new, and this girl group was gonna be the first group to debut within this company. So obviously maybe this was like a trial and error kind of thing, and maybe this group didn't even make it, who knows. So that was my little story about me almost debuting as a K-pop idol. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see more videos like this and me talking about the K-pop industry, or being in a dance team, or just the entertainment industry in general. And also, would you have wanted to see me in a K-pop group? I want to know. Would you stan me? Leave it in the comments below. And as usual, comment, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
So we eventually left the mountain, and Sophia and I headed back home to start preparing for our costumes. We actually decided to DIY our costumes this year. So I was a unicorn and Sophia was a deer.